Hey guys, what's going on? This is Mr. VP and welcome back. Welcome back to another Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom unboxing and review video. Thank you guys so much for all of your kind words of support and wondering where I am. I was out for a little while due to a very serious medical condition. I'm very happy to report that I am doing much better and I feel great, and thank you guys for asking where I was, for sharing your well wishes and so on and so forth. You guys are so awesome, and I couldn't wait to join you guys back on YouTube and kind of get this show rolling again. So, without further ado, today what I have is I believe it's Wave 3 now that it's still technically in, but the Roarivores SINOCERATOPS. And you guys want to know something interesting? The SINOCERATOPS was only uncovered in 2010. It's a close relative of the Triceratops and the Pachyrhinosaurus. But it wasn't discovered until just a few years ago, and it's only been discovered in Asia, and it is from the Cretaceous period. So just wanted to share that information with you guys. I initially wasn't sure what I thought about this figure because the paint job, I found it to be a little weird. Like, I wasn't sure why there's this orange circle on the crest there, how the horns are actually bent to the side instead of out towards the face, because that's how they are in the movie. They're bent towards the face, not to the sides. Kind of makes it look like he's an alien with those little antennae. But once I saw it in person, I had to grab it, and I actually grabbed two of them, one from Walmart and then another one from Target. And interesting enough, if you see in the top right corner, there is a box variation, very subtle, but this says new and this one does not. That is the only difference as far as I can tell. So the reason why I'm showing you guys that I got two of them is because one is going to be opened up for this video. It's going to go into my collection. The other one is for one of you guys. So stay tuned till the end of the video. I'll tell you about how you can win this dinosaur. But let's go ahead and get this unboxing going. What do you say, guys? I almost forgot, guys, just a quick review of the packaging here. You have the standard Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom logo. Also, the Mount Sibo eruption in the back looks really nice there, especially against the green dinosaur. There's really nice contrast. It says Roarivores down here, SINOCERATOPS. Shows you the little action figure that when you press, or the action feature, when you press down on the back on this button here, the head goes up and down and also makes roaring sounds, and that's indicated here by this little icon that shows the roaring. Bottom of the box, nothing interesting or fun there. Side of the box, your Jurassic World logo. Same thing on this side. And on the back, it shows that really nice illustration and tells you what to do and what happens when you do it. Basically, push the button for sound and head rimming action, and it's illustrated right there. Bottom left corner shows some of the earlier Roarivores. And that's it for the packaging. So let's get this guy out of the box and take a closer look. Alright guys, well here it is outside of the packaging. Unboxing was very simple, as you could see. Just snip the two little ties and then take the tail, which comes separately, and click it into the main body, and then once it's in there it's good to go and the figure's ready to play with or use or display. My first impressions outside of the packaging are that I really am glad that I got this figure. I was very hesitant because it looked a little bit strange to me, but I think in this case strange is good. In person, you have to see it in person to really make your mind up about it, because I was judging it online and I was like, I don't know about this one, guys. But I'm glad that I've got it. It looks so much better in person, and I see what they're trying to do with these orange circles, which that was the primary reason why I was unsure of this figure, because I'm like, what in the world did they do there? In the movie, there's nothing here. So there's no skin, there's no bone, there's nothing. There's just holes. So there's a hole here and a hole there. And it looks like they've tried to replicate that without putting holes there. They try to like trick your eye. And I guess it kind of works, because from a distance it almost looks like there are in fact holes there. I wish they had done black paint in this circle instead of doing an orange outline to try and make it look like a hole, but you know, to each his own. I think it still looks cool. It looks different. But those combined with the strange horns that are pointed sideways like antenna instead of like, you know, forward, you know, like horns, kind of gives this illusion that this is a butterfly's body. You know, like these are the wings, you know, this is the head area, these are like mandibles, and then, you know, these are the antenna. I don't know, it kind of looks like it to me. But that's really my only qualm with this figure. Otherwise, it looks awesome. And a nice side note, guys, and I will point this out in a minute when I do the comparisons with the other dinosaurs. This body, you could probably just pluck this head off of it and put the Triceratops on it and paint it brown and paint it all to match, and you would never know the difference. But the really cool thing about what Mattel has done here is this is an entirely new mold. So even though this body looks very, very similar, almost the exact same shape as the Triceratops, the tail, the legs, whatever, pretty much everything except for the head looks identical to a Triceratops. If I show you the Triceratops with this, you'll see that it is entirely different. The skin texture is different, the arms and legs are slightly different, the tail is different. So they didn't just copy the same mold and put a different head on it, put some different sound effects. They literally did a whole new fresh mold, which I think says a lot for what Mattel has been trying to do for Jurassic World. So honestly, I'm giving them a round of applause every single time I take these figures out of the packaging. They are doing such a great job. I just wish that some of the figures would actually come out, like the Spinosaurus. But that's not their problem. That's someone else's problem. Target. So anyways, before I go off on a huge tangent, I really like this figure. I think it looks cool. I think the green really accents this figure well. Like, it looks like a dinosaur, you know, that's really important. It has this really cool, like, almost like an olive drab green. And then it's got this almost like, I want to call it like a cream color, running down its body in these like stripes. And then also on the backs of the front legs and the underbelly. Oh, and by the way, there's that Jurassic World Facts app code. And also on the face you have that creamy off-white color, and then a few circles there as well. And then they have painted the beak and those horns with this charcoal gray look. It looks really, really nice. And actually, I think the beak is painted a different color now that I take it out of the light. Yeah, so the beak is actually painted with a different color gray than the horns, which is really cool to see that they did two different colors there. That looks really nice. I was holding it in light and it was all blending in together, but nope, it's different. So I love the figure, the way it looks different from anything else in my collection, so I'm really happy about that. The sounds, I feel like they could have used, I don't know, a little bit more variety, and the sounds themselves don't seem to mesh well with this particular dinosaur. A lot of them have like this, almost like an Indoraptor growl built into them, so they don't sound right with this dinosaur, and I'll display them right now so you guys can hear them and hear what I'm talking about. See what I'm saying? There's at least one growl in there that has that Indoraptor, Indominus, like, noise built into it, and I just don't think that sounds right for this type of dinosaur. But other than that, I think the sound effects are pretty cool. There is definitely some Triceratops sound in there, which makes sense because they're basically cousins or brothers or whatever you want to call it, so it's really nice to see that. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the figure, and really wish there was a little bit more paint on the toes. I know that a lot of Roarivores don't have paint there, but I feel like, while they had the brush out to do the beak or even the horns there, they could have just touched those and made it that much better. Because it does look a little unfinished looking at those toes, but it's not a big detractor for me. The other thing that I wanted to point out is that the articulation on this particular figure, I'm not sure if it's going to be like all of them, but the joints in the front are much tighter than the back. And I don't remember this, and I just tested my Triceratops behind the scenes, it is not as tight as this. So I'm not sure if they just tightened the joints or why that happened. But the back legs, those are almost too loose now. So you got one extreme or the other, basically. So legs in the back are a little bit too loose, legs in the front are way too loose. But you still have the full articulation. You can go all the way around and do some wacky poses if you want. And the arms are going to be a little bit different because they're going to get stuck in this protruding body portion. So you could technically go all the way around if that wasn't there, but it gets hung up on it, and I don't want to break the arm off or something. So that's that. Now let's do some comparisons. Okay, so first up, we'll show it with the 1/18 scale Jeep Wrangler by Matchbox. Just to give you an idea of how big that is. And next up we'll show it with the Off-Road Rescue Rig. Doesn't exactly fit on there, but you can use your imagination too. Okay. Next up we'll do a couple human figures for size comparisons here. So first up we'll throw Wheatley, everyone's favorite mercenary dentist, and then Maisie. And that's a very, very good size there, I would say. Alright, now for some dinosaur comparisons. Well, first up, we have the Grab and Growl Indoraptor. And we never saw these two on set together or ever in the movie together, so we don't know exactly how big they're supposed to be in relation to each other. I can tell you that the Indoraptor here looks a little big. Yeah, I would say that's way too big. Okay. Next up, we'll show it with the Protoceratops, most likely a distant cousin. Okay. And then here's the Roarivores Triceratops, and exactly the same size. But as I mentioned earlier, let's take a look real quick at the texture on the body. So take a look at those big bumps on the sides here that are kind of highlighted, a lot bigger than the surrounding texture. Plus there's this, you know, ridge here with bumps going down on top of all the scales that are already here. Compare that and contrast that with the Triceratops, which does not have those ridge bumps. And those other bumps, it does have some here, but they're much less pronounced. They're much flatter in appearance. Also, the legs, they're much beefier on the SINOCERATOPS. And also, if you take a look at the toes are not as pronounced on the Triceratops. They're much longer and much more detailed on the SINOCERATOPS. It's kind of hard to show it. Okay. And then second to last, we'll show everyone's favorite, the Thresh and Throw Tyrannosaurus Rex. And again, I feel like that's a little bit too big to scale in there. I feel like maybe the smaller T-Rex is a better option to contrast that with. So here we go. This is the Tyrannosaurus Rex that comes with the Monolithosaurus, and I feel like that's a much better pairing. Okay. Alright, and last up we have the Carnotaurus. This is the Action Attack Carnotaurus, and these two were seen together in the movie. right as everything was going down and the volcano was erupting, and our beloved heroes were right in front of the gyrosphere, and the Carnotaurus and the Sinoceratops fought it out for a couple seconds before the T-Rex ultimately came in and saved the day as usual. So I wanted to show these two together. Pretty close in scale. I think the Carnotaurus is a little bit big, but I think you can still make that work. Alright guys, well that pretty much wraps up the video. Before I get to the details of the giveaway prize, I just wanted to show you that I do have a lot of stuff coming out to the channel very soon. I have been very lucky recently in my toy hunting. I was out of town and actually made some major scores, and I will be reviewing these figures and dinosaurs very soon. So I just wanted to show you what's coming up. And also remind you guys to keep trying, because for a long time there I got a little discouraged because I wasn't finding any new toys. And then I just recently went into some area Walmarts and Targets, and some actually while I was on vacation, and I'm actually surprised just how much product they're actually carrying. There is a lot of Jurassic World stuff on the shelves right now. If that's not true in your area, maybe try going to another town, or you know, if you have some free time, maybe take a little bit of a longer drive. Check online. Just don't give up, and that's all I wanted to say about that there. So now on to the giveaway. So basically right now as it stands, the Mr. VP YouTube channel is at about 1,468 subscribers. This giveaway, there's no time limit on it. It's different from my other ones. Basically what's going to happen is once we hit 2,000 subscribers on the channel, I'm going to pick one of you randomly from the comment section, as long as you've posted a comment which meets the criteria of what I'm about to say, and then I will ship it to you. So all I want you guys to do is make sure you like the video, that you're a subscriber to my channel, and the last and most important thing to make sure you're qualified to win this is I want you to comment down below one thing, whether it's a question, a comment, concern, or otherwise, to Mattel directly about their Jurassic World series. So whether it's the Legacy Collection or the regular Jurassic World series, anything you might want to see from them in the future, maybe from the Dino Rivals line, the Destructosaurs, basically anything you guys want to say to Mattel, whether it's a question, a comment, concern, a request. Basically, I've been told through the grapevine that Mattel actually pays very serious attention to Jurassic World creators on YouTube, to commenters on their forums. They monitor basically all the forums out there, like jptoys.com, the Dino Dan forums, and they want feedback. So basically I just wanted to open it up to them. I want to, as soon as I hit the 2,000 subscribers, I'm not only going to pick a winner, but I'm also going to send a link to Mattel directly so they can see some product feedback and any concerns or questions you guys have. So that's all I ask. If you guys just make sure you like the video, subscribe, and also leave a comment down below for Mattel. Ask them whatever you want, tell them whatever you want. Obviously keep it appropriate. This is a family channel, so don't just, tear them down because they didn't get us the Spinosaurus here in the United States. I'm fairly confident in the future we will see a Spinosaurus. Probably not in the Legacy Collection, but I think we'll see one in the Dino Rivals. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Again, please stay tuned, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.